Alright guys, for the ultimate Linux install I am currently using two USB bus cards with an internal slots, such as there's this one right here, and then you have another one down below. These two, one's going to be for Bluetooth and the other's going to be for a USB Wi-Fi card, such as for AirMon or whatever, so I don't have to worry about disconnecting my existing Wi-Fi card that I have right here. This right here is a Linksys G PCI card. I got it for $10 at a thrift store, and no drivers were needed, so I'm actually happy about that. The recommended Wi-Fi cards for Linux is Asus, Linksys, and there's one called Alpha, I think. I'll probably put down the link down below. And I'm currently using two hard drives. One's going to be for my downloads, and the other is going to be for my operating system. And I am currently using a LightScribe DVD burner with SATA, because the original one that was in here was IDE, and I already sold that other one, so I got this one because it's, I guess, better. And that's it. And I'm currently using an adapter to power up my SATA, since I didn't have any extra, because the other two are being used for my hard drives. I have one 320 gig and another 160. The 160 one's going to be used for my operating system, and the 320 is going to be used for my downloads, such as music or whatever. So anyways, this is it. Ultimate Linux Kali install using an old HP. Ta-da! Alright, so far I'm trying to find my Kali Linux install. These are just all a bunch of, disks I have. I have Ubuntu server, but we're using a 32-bit because I am using a 32-bit operating system, and I'm already in the BIOS settings to configure the boot. And my faceplate kind of broke, so I have to go without it. No big deal. Just put this sucker in. And we're in the BIOS settings, so you can do that by hitting F10 or any of the F keys. So let's try to figure out where we can find that setting. Alright guys, welcome to my tutorial of Andrew Golden TV, and today I see you have found you guys want to learn how to install Kali Linux. And this here is the ultimate guide on how to install the ultimate Linux of Kali. So let's get started. This here is the desktop of Kali Linux. In order to log in, the user's actually root, R-O-O-T, and the password is not Tor. It's actually the password you set before during the installation process using the live CD. Alright guys, welcome to my tutorial of Andrew Golden TV. I see that you guys already want to know how to install Kali Linux. You guys already saw the setup installation of how to set up a computer with two hard drives, and this is the setup that I have right now. Now yours should look a lot different than what I have right now. For this instance, if you guys are using a Linksys or an Asus Wi-Fi card or an Alpha, you can simply click on the top right hand corner and go under Power and click Wi-Fi. It'll ask to select network, and from there you can select your Wi-Fi, which I already have. So now that I have my internet already set up and everything is ready to go, let's just set everything up how I have mine, so you guys get the idea on how to do it. So go under the tweak tool on the bottom corner, and yours should be on the side, but if you guys like how I have mine, this is how we're going to do it. So go under extinctions and go under dash to dock, go into settings right there. Now you should get a thing that's saying bottom, left, top, right. Click bottom. Now the way it's set up, how I have it, is a lot like a Macintosh. So there we go. Now let's just keep going down. Let's go to the desktop, and the icons you want should be like these right here. See how the home button just disappeared? Well, that's how you do it. I personally like mine on the desktop just like this. So now let's just scroll on down to it says power. You can select that thing to nothing because before it was set to suspend. But if you guys are using a laptop, you can just leave it as the default. But since I'm using a desktop, I had it set to nothing for right now. And that's basically it for this part. Now, let's get on down to it, shall we? So click on the X button, and now that you have your dash dock on the bottom, click under Show Applications. Under here, you should see a thing called Settings. If you type at the very, very top corner, Settings. So, there it is. So, click on that and find the power. You want to change that because a lot of times when you're scanning or you're doing updates and stuff, it could actually mess it up. And that's what we do not want. So, click under Power. Under power, hit never. Now, that should be it. Now, Bluetooth you can leave off because, I don't really need Bluetooth at the very, very moment, but, I'll just leave it on just in case. And there you have it. Now, in order to do the updates and stuff, we got to go into the Icedove browser if you guys have internet enabled. We're going to go under my YouTube channel, and under this video, you guys should be able to find the repository links to fix the segmentation fault error. So, this is my video that I made in the past, but this is actually a remake. So I'm going to pause this video right here because it's kind of like overlapping what I already have. But under the same video that you guys are watching right now, it should have the same links as this video does right here. So we're scrolling down. The top one should be the default that was already there. You actually want to replace it with this code right here. So right click and hit copy. Now you want to minimize that browser and go under places. Under places, go under computer. And under here, go into etc under apt. Now there's apt right here. And you should see a thing called sources.list. Now that's where you want to modify the contents of this file. You can do that by selecting everything and right clicking and paste, and it should already, since mine's already set, there's really no need to worry. Hit save, and that's it. Now you should no longer have a segmentation fault error. And we just click the X button, and let's open up the terminal. Now, there's this favorite little command I like to do that pretty much updates the whole entire system called an update complete command. You can do that by hitting apt-get update. And no, do not press enter just yet because we're going to add something to it. You can do that by hitting double and apt-get upgrade. So let's get on down to it, shall we? So space and apt-dist, that's for the distro. You want to have that updated as well. So since I already kind of messed up right here, let's try to fix it. There we go. apt-dist upgrade. There we have it. So we should have 3 commands in one. You can do that again, just like that. So what we have is apt-get update, apt-upgrade, and the distro upgrade. All you have to do is hit the enter button and let it do its thing. Now, in the meantime, mine is already done, so it's just probably not going to find anything. But during the updating process, you should get a few things that say Y to continue or no. Hit Y, and then just keep doing that through everything, and eventually you'll run into a thing where it says hit Q to quit, hit Q to quit, and then it should continue everything, and that's it. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to clear everything. You can do that by typing the clear, hit enter, and everything's gone. There's a few programs I think you guys would really love. So let's just look for those programs right now. apt-cache search. Now this is my favorite command if you want to look up applications. You can do that by doing that. And Audacity is one of the ones I really love. So let's look up Audacity. And let's change this. To do what I just did, you can hit the up arrow key on your keyboard to find the past things that you just got. So we'll do an apt-get install, and we'll type in Audacity. So we type AUDISTY, just like that. Or you can just, highlight and copy the one you want, and right-click and paste, which could be easier. Now, some people, they like opening up multiple terminals at once, one for looking everything up. So let's just do install Audacity. So we'll click enter button. Okay guys, I see that you guys have downloaded some programs, and you guys are probably wondering, how do I install the Tor Browser bundle? Well, the first thing that we need to do is go into your internet browser and click under Tor download under your search engine. Should be the first link. Now the ones above should be a bunch of advertisements that are unnecessary for us. So click on download torrent, click on Linux. And the one you want is the 32-bit because it is compatible with both 64-bit and 32-bit. I don't really like 64-bit because it just means I need a 64-bit machine, and that's something I do not have at the moment. Once you guys have downloaded that program, go into your places and click under downloads. Now you want to cut that and paste it on your desktop. After doing so, you need to watch this tutorial on how to do it, because it's basically the video I used to get Tor on my computer, which is right here. Now this here is Tor. This is my IP address that is currently spoofed at the moment, and that's pretty much it. The video I used to install Tor was how to install Tor KaliTux 2.0 by Root Project. So shout out for Root Project for making that video to make it easier for you guys. These are some other great programs I really like in the process of, setting up a machine like this. There's icedove, which is basically like a Thunderbird. You have Audacity, which is your typical audio recording program. And then you have bleachbit. Bleachbit, I think, is a great program to have combined with Tor Browser, because you can clear your cookies, you can clear your history, you can pretty much just clear anything with this thing. What you can do is pretty much check everything, but the only ones you don't really want checked is probably your localizations and your memory, because one of these is used for your swap, which is not something we want deleted, because it might have something to do with grub install. I'm just not really sure. I'm pretty new at Linux too myself, so anyways, we click on preview and we can see how much space we can get rid of. And it pretty much says we can get rid of about 521. Since I've already ran the program, I was able to free at least 50 gigabytes worth of space after the updates and everything, and with everything installed. So yeah. So to move on from that, we have filezilla, our typical FTP client. It's pretty much popular for those amongst Linux users and those who are working on website development. Ktorrent is probably a good one to have, because downloading with torrents is probably safer that way than it is to download with a regular Tor browser. When you're using Tor browser, use it consistently, use it all the time. Do not keep switching browsers. So yeah. So then we have our Marble, which is our typical Google Earth. It's really great. Then we have our playonlinux, which you can pretty much install any Windows program and it will run on Linux environment. Then we have our Stellarium program, for those who like looking at the stars and to be able to map out things of where is the star located, or where is the satellite at. So I'm going to show you guys a sneak preview of Stellarium. This here is Stellarium. Right now it is currently in live mode, so you can see things so we already see that Mars is in the east of my current position, which is pretty much right here. So Mars is to the east. Then we have other planets too, and other stars. So this is a pretty good program. So in order to get out of it, I think we hit the escape button. I'm just not exactly sure how to get out of this program. It's probably one of the F keys. I'm just not exactly sure. There we go. It was like F9 or F10. So click exit. So anyways, we have other programs too. We have our Sweet Home 3D Builder for those who are planning on building their own house. This is great. You can import models. You can build your own house with this program by downloading extra resources and sprites and whatever. So this is another sneak peek of Sweet Home 3D. Now, other programs I'm going to be talking to you about is Wireshark, VLC, which I'm not even going to bother opening those because it's not really necessary. We have our bedroom. We can pretty much lower this, and I think we can just click and drag it wherever we want. And there's our bed. There's our bed. And this is great because you can click on anything you want. You can drag it wherever you want, such as, let's say I want it next to the bed. Oh, we have a dresser next to the bed. That's cool. And that's your sneak peek of Sweet Home 3D. Now, all these programs are optional. They're not well, to me, they're a must-have. So, we have our Wireshark, VLC. We have our dosbox for those who want to run and emulate, those old Windows programs on here. Then we have LibreOffice. LibreOffice is like one of those Microsoft Office programs. It's a knockoff of it, but it's free. It's also available for Windows, for those who don't want to pay, let's say $1,000 for Microsoft Office. Well, just use LibreOffice. It's free. You're saving more money in your pocket, and if you need to do a PowerPoint for school, just go to the school library and use the one they have there. I use it for documents because whenever I want to save it, I always do a .doc, not a .docx, because older the extension, usually the more compatible, because a lot of this newer stuff derived from the older stuff, so there's really no need to worry about that. Then we have our Synaptics package manager. This is great for those who are installing applications. You can open this up and you can get the repository that way, and you can also install programs for different sources from the following program you imported in here. Then we have our Pinta. Pinta, who loves Pinta? I mean, I think everybody should love this program better than GIMP. GIMP was one of those programs that was really confusing on how to use. I like this program simply because it reminds me a lot like Paint.net for Windows. It's actually a Photoshop knockoff. You can add multiple layers, you can draw, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So I can pretty much, let's say I do this, we can add an extra layer, we can close different layers, and let's say we click on this little paint thing again, and I'm not sure why it's not letting me. But anyways, we have our background, then we have our, there we go. So we have our background, there we go. So we undo background, you get what I mean? You get what I mean? So we got our layers. Then we have other programs too. We have Pinta, there's other programs too. I'm trying to figure out which ones to show you guys that are considered must-haves. Our Megatron is another program. It's actually a game for those who like Tron. But I guess that's really all I have to show you guys. This is pretty cool how I have everything set up. Now, if you guys want to remove certain programs from your dock, you can simply right-click and remove. There's some programs in here I don't want in here, so we click Remove from Favorites, and if you want to add a program on here, you just click on the Show Applications, you view them all. Let's say you want Audacity on there, you click Add to Favorites, but in this case it says Remove from Favorites. So let's just do this one for example. Add to Favorites. Oh, it just added it to my dock. So, now you guys have the idea on how this works. Plus, you can always move them wherever you want. You know, like you would in Mac. So the next thing I guys want to talk to you about is how to remove, an existing program that's already on here. So you guys already know how to install programs, but you guys don't know how to log in as root. So you can do that by doing sudo -i, and your root access is just right there. You just input the password, but since I'm already a root, there's really no point in me logging in because I'm already a root. Let's say I want to remove a program, like let's say Iceweasel, for example, since I have Tor Browser installed. What we want to do is we want to type apt-get space, I think it's auto remove, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll try it, auto remove Iceweasel. And we'll click yes. So this will remove Iceweasel from my computer. So the only thing we have on here is our Tor browser, for those who just want to stay anonymous.